And there is the President and the First Lady, Melania.
Charles, as you know, who's now king, is my friend.
He says we're fake news. He still wants a selfie.
He has the most disgusting policies. Do not get me started on counter-protesters. I think they are brainwashed, ridiculous, and need to have a day off.
I expect the King started off by saying, "You'll find this very wobbly."
It's all starting, isn't it? Yeah, it's big, this one.
The White House didn't accredit us.
Bummer.
The elephant in the room, Lord Mandelson.
There we go, the only way to get a glimpse of Marine One.
A great gentleman and a great king.
Well, Donald Trump is about to take off for the UK, a second state visit for a US president. That's never happened before.
Charles, as you know, who's now king, is my friend.
And it all started here with that letter that Starmer pulled out of his jacket back in February. It was a stroke of genius, disarming the president with flattery straight from the king.
Well, that is really nice. I must make sure his signature's on that.
And it worked. Britain is in a good place with this unpredictable president. But there is a lot at stake, keeping the president on side on Ukraine. There's the Middle East, deepening that trade relationship as well, and the debate over free speech. The Trump administration really has laid into Britain about that. And so I guess the question, as I prepare to leave for Windsor, is, has Britain played its trump card, the state visit, too soon? We'll find out. Well, massive security checks, but we're now heading to this flatbed truck for the arrival of the plane.
Well, we're just waiting for Air Force One to arrive. Have a look at this, because you will really get a sense of what it looks like when the president travels. His helicopters, they were put in the back of transport aircraft and flown over. And over here, down at the end there, you can see the US Air Force, US Army, in fact, the helicopters. They will flank Marine One as it flies from here at Stansted down to Regent's Park to the Ambassador's house. The steps just being moved into position now, and there is the President and the First Lady, Melania.
And tomorrow's going to be a very big day, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. President. It's going to be a historic day, so that'll be great. Thank you all very much.
Well, here we go. Windsor, and the president will be here in a couple of hours. The world's media is here, as you can see, and that's the turret where massively awkwardly someone projected, or a group of protesters projected an image of Trump and Epstein on that.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You well?
Yes.
I was doing the live last night, and someone was on text message telling me I got it wrong, correcting me. All very useful.
I was just trying to be helpful.
No, you were. You were very helpful. So. How are you?
I'm all right.
How are you feeling?
It's all starting, isn't it? It's big, this one.
What are you looking out for?
Oh, well, look, it's the pictures, isn't it?
Yeah.
The body language, the lip reading.
The rapport between the king and the president, if there is one.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Trump is obviously like, oh, we're great friends. Someone who's heavily involved in all this said, not really sure that they've really built up that friendship, but the fact that he thinks that they're mates that's really powerful.
He thinks they've been mates for a long time. Trump always sees himself as top dog, whoever he meets, but I wonder if with Charles he won't.
The king is kind of one of the only people that Donald Trump hasn't publicly had to go about.
Not yet. We'll see.
Well, exactly, but he's literally just said nice things about him. He's a great guy. He's my friend. The king knows what he's got to do, really.
What's brought you here? You're clearly a fan.
I'm not a fan. I'm a Trump activist, the most loudest voice across the transatlantic. So the issue that we need Trump, I want to use the opportunity to thank King Charles for bringing Trump home. Keep the flag flying, people. Fake news have to stop now.
Oh, stop with the fake news.
No, you're fake
We're
news.
doing our best.
No,
We're doing our best.
Come on, fake news. Hold on, let me have a shot with you guys, right?
He says we're fake news. He still wants a selfie.
Yeah, well, we are some form of...
We've got to laugh about it, otherwise we'd cry.
What do you think of Trump?
Absolutely love the guy.
Why?
Trump is our greatest ally. When we've got Starmer as our leader, we are desperate for someone to actually fight for our rights, fight for free speech, to help improve our economy, to actually speak up for the people at the very bottom, you know.
Trump is a fascist. He's dismantling democracy, not only in America, but he's dismantling it in Europe as well.
He's an Islamophobe, he's a transphobe, he has the most disgusting policies in the States in reference to ICE, and also what he's doing and what he's responsible for in Gaza.
Do not get me started on counter-protesters. I think they are brainwashed, ridiculous, and need to have a day off. Oh, actually, I'll say one more thing. If they're so concerned about what's going on in Gaza, why don't you fly over and protest there?
Exactly that.
Thank you.
Whether I agree with him or not, he's going to be Trump. So, yeah. What do you think, Matteo?
Well, here we go. We're one side of Windsor Castle, and you can see on the screens there on the other side, Marine One just touching down. For weeks and weeks and weeks, I've been talking to diplomats in Washington, and they have been, trying to go through every single bit of this to work out that there are deliverables, that something comes out of it, because ultimately that's what this is all about. It's about laying on the flattery for Donald Trump, warts and all, controversy and all, because the British government has recognised that it is not just important for Britain to be as close as possible to the United States. It is absolutely vital to Britain's national interest on foreign policy, on security, on trade, for Britain to be as close as possible. And the way to do it with Donald Trump is to lay all this on. Just look at the coach here that they're going to travel in. This, for the president, is what it's all about.
What do you think the conversation was between the King and the President in the back of that carriage?
I expect the King started off by saying, "You'll find this very wobbly," because I think if you're in a castle, if you're in a carriage, it can be very wobbly and they're very unsettling. If you're
like being on a boat.
Yes, it is like being on a boat, and if you're not used to it, it can be quite unsettling because the thing does shake about.
Small talk or substance, do you think?
Well, substance as far as kings are allowed to stray, because kings can't say things that are not acceptable to the government of the day.
You still standing?
Just about.
So
It keeps coming, doesn't it?
I know, it really does. Where have you been now?
So-
You've seen the table plan.
This seating plan just underpins all the really important stuff, and why today is important, making sure that he is happy, that Trump feels like he's been welcomed and wined and dined and all that kind of stuff. So that, we can keep talking about those deals. Like you and I, we talk to all those people in diplomatic circles and they keep going, well, don't forget about the defence deal, don't forget about what's going on with AI.
And trade, that's going to be really important. Like Scott Bessent, he's here, he'll be at the dinner.
Everyone's going to be obsessed with the tiaras.
Yeah.
That's the bad bit about my job, really. It'll be all about Kate and how amazing she looks.
Has that word Epstein been mentioned at all today? The other side of the wall?
In royal circles? Never.
The Prime Minister, the President and the King, all, one way or another, have an association with Jeffrey Epstein. That is awkward.
Yeah, really
and the
awkward.
King's association, obviously, is through his brother Prince Andrew, who's here in Windsor, or certainly lives here.
Yeah, he lives
Is
just
he-
over there.
Is he here?
He lives in Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate. He was at the Duchess of Kent's funeral yesterday. So he's around, but now, obviously, completely non-communicado, all because of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Well, there we go. Just me and the police officers here. Day one of this state visit is over. What a day it was. Now on to Chequers for day two. The politics, the diplomacy and the news conference.
Hiya, how you doing?
How are you?
doing? I'm okay. How you doing?
Surviving?
I'm surviving, yeah.
What do you think of yesterday?
Well, I was just talking to someone from number 10 about that, like, but it could not have gone better, could it?
It was an interesting day, but today the rubber hits the road, right?
the rubber hits the road today. But I mean, look, there's two elements of this, Mark. The first is the sort of business element of it, and the government are delighted with the inward investment. It's around AI and nuclear, and there is a global race to be the leaders in AI. So it's in the US interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the more sticky areas for them is foreign policy, Mark, because Gaza, Palestine statehood, Ukraine, these are things that the Prime Minister really needs Trump to buy into a European view of it. And at the moment, he's not biting. You've got to see all of this state visit as well in the context of a Prime Minister really on the ropes. He's had a dreadful couple of weeks. Look, the big question is about Manson and Epstein. We haven't really heard Trump talk about what he thinks about the sacking of the UK ambassador to the US. We haven't really heard from him on that.
All right, well, what's your first question going to be?
I have a range of questions, Mark, depending on when I get called. I mean, we don't know how the press is going to go.
The wider jeopardy here is that all these images, everything we saw yesterday, could all come back to bite the British government, could all look very uncomfortable, very awkward, if Trump does something that's considered to be crazy in a day, a week, whenever.
Yes, but for the UK government, what's Keir Starmer's big problem in this country? It's the economy. Effectively, it's like if he cannot get economic growth, all of the other stuff he wants to do, any hope of kind of clawing back in the polls looks more distant than ever. Like,
it's worth it.
It's worth it for them. What you're seeing really is a Prime Minister using, or asking rather, the royal family to help in the British national interest. And I think everything he goes into it, that is what's in his, as he would say, mind's eye. His words, not what he always says, mind's eye. I never say that.
Enjoy.
What are you going to do today?
Well, we didn't get into the press conference. The White House didn't accredit us.
Bummer.
But we're going to try and sneak in.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. There we go, the only way to get a glimpse of Marine One. And the President, as he lands, is crouching down like this. Well, the President and the Prime Minister have just started speaking at this business forum, and big announcements. 15,000 jobs to be created, so says the Prime Minister, across the country as part of this tech prosperity deal, a blueprint to win this new AI era together. There's a lot of superlatives going on in there.
There's so much to celebrate in the special relationship between our two countries.
And we work together, and it keeps us together, and I think it's an unbreakable bond we have. Regardless of what we're doing today, I think it's unbreakable.
Well, it's time for the news conference, that big moment in this state visit, moment of jeopardy, moment we get to ask the questions to the President and the Prime Minister. Here we are at Chequers.
Wars that were unsolvable, wars that couldn't be negotiated or done, we've done. The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin, but he's let me down. He's really let me down.
We went through the entire press event without anyone asking, so it was left to me to do it. What on earth did President Trump make of the sacking of the UK ambassador to the US a week out from this state visit?
The elephant in the room, Lord Mandelson, he is no longer the ambassador. Do you have some sympathy with him that he lost his job over historic links to Jeffrey Epstein? Thank you very much, sir.
I don't know him, actually. I had heard that, and I think maybe the Prime Minister would be better speaking of that. That was a choice that he made, and I don't know. What is your answer to that?
Well, I mean, it's very straightforward. Some information came to light last week which wasn't available when he was appointed, and I made a decision about it, and that's very clear.
But Mark, it's finally over. Look, it's all peaceful now. The Trump entourage has left town, and I mean,
it's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah, and I
the
think
setting.
And I think the thing is that with Donald Trump, he's unpredictable, isn't he? And I think number 10, what they'll be really pleased about is this went very well. It worked like clockwork, which is high risk when your ambassador, who's meant to be orchestrating all of it, leaves days before the event. and Starmer and Trump were able to disagree agreeably on the issue of the Palestine state, which is going to be massive when the UN convenes next week, right?
But I thought that was interesting. They seem to have got to a place in their relationship where they can disagree on things, but there not be consequences. Because for the last however many months since Trump's been president again, that's been the big challenge, is if as a country we do this, what are the Americans, what's Trump going to do? Well, I think they're in a place now, or Starmer thinks he's in a place now, where we can disagree.
They're an unlikely coupling, aren't they? But somehow it works.
Susie Wiles is Trump's chief of staff at the White House. I had a quick chat with her. You know, she acknowledged that they are far apart politically, but they get on. There's a rapport, there's a relationship, and I think that's all important. Well, that went well for both of them, I think. They'll be pleased with that. What was really striking was that neither one of them really dwelt on the really sticky geopolitical issues, whether it be Ukraine or the Middle East. They were focused as much as they could be in the announcements, in their speeches beforehand, on investment, on trade, or on AI. Now you can see the helicopters are here, the engines are on, and the president will be on his way. I think a happy man, a trip that he will have enjoyed.